very quickly. One mistake I've made, and I want to share with you at the beginning of doing this, is so you don't do it. I've never done this before, okay? First season for the side dress attachment. Haven't used a spreader in ages. All this cleaning and stuff should have been done while it was still on the tractor, okay? That would have allowed it to be upside down. I would have been able to blow air down and get all the gunge out of the bottom. I would have been able to operate the spinner to throw the stuff out, and I would have been able to blow air into that hole, the drop hole, to help clean out the paddle system. So really, you want to clean this while it's still on the tractor. That's all I got. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, November 26th here. I'm in the garage, and you know, what do you do when you have a small orchard and you're winding down the system, the season? And what you do is you bring in some stuff and you winterize it. Now, I winterized the big Wahooshits sprayer yesterday by using a squeeze pump and forcing RV antifreeze through the pump. And that way no moisture will be in the pump or in the handles or anything. It will not freeze over the winter and it will not split anything. You really need to take care of anything wet like that. Make sure that it's either dry or you flood it with something that's not going to freeze. So you can see back here, this one's dry, but I'm going to do a double check on it. I'm going to push compressed air through this one. This is just easier. So I'll put compressed air through it. This is the star of the season. This is the side spreader attachment on top of my cone. Now that piece of plywood there is, I can't store this in the barn. I don't have enough floor space available to me. I have to put it outside, and the last thing that went through it was lime. Now it's getting too cold for me to flush it with water, but I have to keep that lime from corroding and seizing up these moving parts here, okay? Because they work, but they definitely aren't slippery. You know, they take some effort to move. So I've got to make sure that they get lubricated. Also, the bearings that are up in here need some love too. So I got to get to that. The board on the top is going to get clamped onto it or screwed onto it so that come winter, when I tarp it, it'll have a surface to support the flat there and hopefully will not mess up my tarp too much. And I'll take pipe insulation, you know, that split stuff, and I'll put it around here so you won't have a sharp edge. Now you can see that there's still some lime in there. I'm going to have to just accept it. If I'm not going to wash out the whole thing, there's no sense getting any of it wet. But what I will do is I will flip this over later on, and I'm going to be putting in the local favorite FluidFilm. And I have to say, a combination of FluidFilm, everybody keeps your stuff up here, and Kroil are really what you need if you have farm equipment or equipment you store outside. Kroil did a fabulous job of unfreezing parts that had corroded together. Then I gave them a shot of FluidFilm and worked them back and forth like silk, smooth, and everything's good. FluidFilm is persistent, it stays behind, and it leaves a protective coating. Way better than WD-40. Same thing goes with Kroil. The Kroil, order it directly from the company. Don't buy it on Amazon. It costs too much. You can get a 2-can special. Oh, it's Kanolabs.com. www.kanolabs. There we go. Labs.com. You can get 2 cans for a fabulous price. 1 can, I'm not kidding, you use very little. 1 can lasted me 10 years, okay? I recently gave some to a friend because what they were looking to pay for it was too much. So give the gift that keeps on giving. Give Kroil. If you can't find that, FluidFilm is great. And you notice I split the PTO shaft. Kind of did that on purpose just to store it, but I will also give it a shot of FluidFilm too, just to make sure, especially the little release button there, because that was froze up on me before. So make sure your equipment is protected from corrosion. Bottom line, protect your hardware from corrosion. I can't really split the case to go inside. It's just like a tremendous amount of work, so I'm not going to do it. But what I am going to do, and I'll shoot some more video, I will flip this over and I'll show you where I'm aiming the product to get it loosened up. And I'm also going to be taking a look at seeing if I can do something about this. I currently cannot use my quick hitch on this because of this. And my understanding is that there is a kit out where you can remote that. And if I can remote it and I can put the quick hitch on this, that is huge to me, because installing this on the tractor with old school swing arms, trying to line up the pins, everything else, hate that. I want quick hitch. So that's it for tonight, and I'll add to this later. Bye-bye.
Okay, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm going to finish trying to get this ready for winter storage. Now, I've got lime powder still stuck in here, and I don't want to use water because it will freeze and the moisture will actually make the lime worse. So I saw a thing on Millennial Farmer where, you know, he was using a leaf blower, and I'm thinking blowing the dust out is not a bad idea. So electric leaf blower. And the thing I need to remember to do is I'm going to be blowing into the agitator, you know, the spinner that's throwing the stuff. I need to give it a way out, which is going to be down, fortunately through the pallet, so it shouldn't spread all over the garage. But I have to open that door as far as it'll go to give it a way to get out of the spreader. So I'm not going to spin this much by hand. I might spin a little bit by hand. It still turns, it's still dirty. Not sure what that did. I know that. Does anybody hate these guards as much as I do? Alright. Nope. Alright. I hate those guards. That was interesting. Okay, so what I gotta do next is I gotta flip it over, see if I did any good. One other thing I want to point out is the little louver doors that open and close, and part of this and part of the gate control, FluidFilm. Mostly the dust and stuff is in there, but it'll keep moisture from going in behind it and causing corrosion that I would have to use the Kroil for. But if I keep the moisture and I keep them slimed up with this, I won't need Kroil. Okay, what I did was I tipped the spreader up because I happen to have my rear forks back there, and that gave me a very convenient prop. So that was lucky. I never planned it that way. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was, first of all, we know we have these two controls here, and it's important that you articulate both of them as you're going through this process, okay? This one here is going to open and close the gates variably. That was about when you were doing a full field spreader, about did it go that away? Did it go that away? Did it go that away? Or did it just go all over the place? Anyway, you want to open that because you want to be able to get both gates open completely. This one obviously just opens the gates, but by moving it back and forth, yeah, don't do that. But by moving it back and forth, you're spreading that lubricant in between the two plates. So let's go down underneath here. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, what I've got is both windows are open. So if I were spreading max, it would empty out the bin very quickly. But that allows me to spray onto the spreader pan. And I'm not going to do it now because my hands will get really filthy. They did. You grab that middle spreader hand, you know, that little agitator, and you can rotate it. And you can see through the window there. So you really want to get everything in there wet with the sealant, in this case, FluidFilm. So just for theatrics here, you get an idea. And I'm just putting a light coat here. Now you can see I've got some of that dust on here, and they're saying wash it out. It's too darn cold. It's just about freezing outside. I just don't have the option. Now, next winter, if the barn is set up properly, the way I hope it'll be, I'll be able to be in the barn with some heat, and then I will take my propane heater and be able to aim it in here to warm this up, and I'll be able to wash it and dry it thoroughly and do it the way it should be done. But this is what I'm doing for now. And the only thing is I have not been able to find a replacement for this gizmo that's not going to get in the way of my 3-point hitch. So that's just another winter project. And if I find a solution, or you know me, if I hack a solution, you'll be the first to know. I'll share.